Now it's time to break it.
Welcome back to the SplitScreeners podcast. My name is Nick. Joined as always by my co-host Zach.
What's up?
Aaron. Hello. And Gavin.
Hi.
We went and saw Scream tonight. That movie started at 7. We got a new GoPro. I don't know if you can tell the difference in the camera quality. I hope that you can. We are very happy that we have this GoPro. Yeah. But with all of that, it is now 2 in the morning. This is
sleepy.
The last episode we have to record, so we are going to try and powerhouse through this. I don't need this to be super long. Just a couple things I wanted to touch on here. First, WWE. The Royal Rumble's coming up in a couple weeks. We're going to make our predictions on that probably on the next week's episode. But one thing that I didn't want to bring up, they started announcing participants for the Royal Rumble. First of all, Johnny Knoxville is going to be part of the Men's Royal Rumble.
Be a good idea because I think it kind of advertised his new movie coming out. Whatever that could be.
Stealing the golden egg.
But the thing that I'm most excited about.
I hope they don't do something as stupid as that was.
That was dumb.
It'd be cool to see Vince McMahon get punched in the balls by their jackass machine or something. That'd be cool. But in the Women's Royal Rumble, they announced last week that Mickie James was going to join. And for those of you that don't know, Mickie James wrestles for a completely different company, Total Nonstop Action TNA Wrestling. She is currently the TNA Women's Champion. The reason why this is notable and why I wanted to bring this up is this is something that we haven't seen WWE do. WWE doesn't work with other companies. WWE has their talent. They pay their talent. They only work with their talent. Now, Mickie James used to be a WWE wrestler, but they fired her among all the cuts that they've made over the last couple of years. I don't know if this is going to lead to anything, but I know that there are a lot of fans out there that are super excited to hear this news. It's what they call the forbidden door in wrestling. WWE has now opened this forbidden door, and the opportunities are endless. If they really are starting to work with other companies, I mean, this could be a whole new world of WWE wrestling that we haven't seen before. Not since the days of WCW, where WCW was invading and WWF was invading WCW. I mean,
maybe this is just the first step of WWE just buying out this other company.
And that's what a lot of people think. But I believe that WWE might be going for sale at some point. And I don't think WWE is going to pick up another show like this if they're trying to sell. I don't know if that's for sure or not. Hopefully, what this leads to eventually is that this forbidden door will be open. And we can finally get some matches between talent that works for different companies. It would be amazing. They announced Mickie James, and I know that probably is the end of it. There probably isn't going to be anybody from AEW show up. But every wrestling fan who's been a wrestling fan forever can't help but to think, right? Like, if Mickie James is the Women's Royal Rumble, could there be a possibility that Chris Jericho comes from AEW and shows up at the Royal Rumble? Or CM Punk? Or
it's been a while since I've seen Punk.
Kenny Omega wrestles for AEW. And it's super exciting. And like I said, this could just be a one-time thing. Mickie James might show up, lose the Royal Rumble. We never hear about this again.
Or
it could be something absolutely amazing that wrestling fans have wanted for
total war between two different companies.
Yeah. I think the Royal Rumble is one of my favorite events of the year. Obviously, WrestleMania, I think, is my favorite event. It's usually the biggest event. They have the best matches. Oh, yeah. But they have a lot of great pay-per-views. Money in the Bank is always so much fun. 6 to 8 guys wrestling on top of a ladder trying to get the Money in the Bank briefcase. But Royal Rumble, I think, is my favorite pay-per-view of the year. So I'm super excited. There's always big shocks. 2 years ago, Edge returned. He had triple fusion neck surgery. And they told him that he was never going to be able to wrestle again. And the sound when his music hit and the crowd, to this day, if I watch that video of his music hitting, will give me goosebumps. The roar of the crowd when they heard Edge come back was amazing. And so that's the exciting part about the Royal Rumble. And if this Forbidden Door thing goes anywhere, I mean, we could see anybody show up. Yeah. So super excited for that. Like I said, we'll go over our predictions for that next week. once more matches are announced.
Let's get a Disney sponsorship when we'll get wrestling with Marvel superheroes. Chris Hemsworth now has to wrestle against Ryan Reynolds.
We're going to start this in a different way this week. One of the reasons that we're recording so late is I did spend about 45 minutes trying to find all of our old predictions so I could get an updated list. Unfortunately, we started recording kind of late into the season.
Yeah.
So I didn't get that many weeks. But out of a total of 69 games, nice.
Perfect.
After the regular season is over, here are the standings. Zach is in the lead. We already knew that. It's by more than I thought at 41 games. Aaron is in second place at 35 games.
Damn, I do have quite a lead.
I am in third at 32 games. Gavin is at 25, and then Will's at 12, but he was only here for 1 week, so
he's a loser.
What we're going to do for the playoffs, because there is such a difference between all of us, and I want to make sure, I think it'd be cool if Gavin came from the bottom and won the whole thing. So what we're going to do is every game in the playoffs is going to be worth 2 points. And so we have 6 games this week. We'll have 6 games the week after that, 4 after that, and then we'll have the Super Bowl. So 6, 12, 16, 17 games. So a possibility to make 34 points, depending on the total. So we're just going to make our predictions on those games now. Wild card weekend. I should have had this pulled up.
Mine are worth 3 points.
All right. Wild card weekend schedule. So we've got. They're calling this Super Wild Card Weekend because this is the first time that we've had. Did they do it last year? No, I think this is the first time they've done this, where only one team gets a bye. Usually 2 teams used to get a bye, but now we have 6 games instead of 4.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing 2 games tomorrow on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday, 1 game on Monday. 2 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, 1 game on Monday. Jesus Christ, it is.
Thank you. Sorry, I was like that didn't add up. I was so confused.
So we'll just start from here. Las Vegas Raiders versus the Cincinnati Bengals.
Raiders.
At Cincinnati. Zach has taken the Raiders.
The Raiders.
Versus who?
The Cincinnati Bengals.
Oh, they're pretty neck and neck. Well, can't copy Zach. I guess I'll go Bengals.
Gavin? I'm going to assume Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I'm also going the Bengals. Las Vegas, we didn't talk about this. We talked about this last week where the Raiders and the Chargers could have both gotten in had they tied and the Jaguars beat the Colts. So earlier in the day, the Jaguars beat the Colts. Eliminated the Colts from the playoffs. So now it was either the Chargers win and the Chargers and the Steelers get in, the Raiders win and the Raiders and the Steelers get in, or the Raiders and the Chargers tie and then they both get in and the Steelers are eliminated. So it's the fourth quarter of the game. Chargers are down by 7 points. I think it was 32 to 25. And the Chargers go downfield nice and slow. A couple penalties go their way. Some great throws on fourth down. Justin Herbert for the Chargers throws a touchdown to Mike Williams. Ties the game up at 32. It goes to overtime. And at this point I was like, oh, they're fucking tying. I felt it in my bones. Raiders get the ball first. In overtime, they take a lot of time off the clock. They go downfield. They kick a field goal. They have the lead, 35 to 32. So now I'm thinking the Raiders might win. Chargers get the ball. They take a bunch of time off the clock. They kick a field goal. They tie it back up. It's 35-35. Raiders get the ball back. There's not a whole lot of time left. Now I'm almost guaranteed that this is going to be a tie. I am losing my mind. Raiders get the ball. They're kind of just going at their own pace. They're running the ball a little bit. They're running out clock. The Raiders were going to go for a tie. They were going to let themselves and the Chargers get in the playoffs. They were okay with that. 32 seconds left in the game. Chargers head coach calls a timeout. Because now he's worried that the Raiders are going to kick a field goal with no time left. The Chargers aren't going to get the ball back. And the game's going to be over. Raiders run the ball again. Get 6 or 7 yards. Kick a field goal. Chargers have no more timeouts. And the Raiders win the game. Raiders players after the game did say that had they not called that timeout, they were going to just let the time run out and they were going to end the tie game. So the Chargers screwed themselves out of a win. Yeah. Raiders got in. As a Broncos fan, I can't root for the Raiders anyway. It's one of our rivals in our division. It's hard not to root for the Raiders. It is my dad's team, on the other hand. And they've gone through a lot of shit this year. I mean, we've talked a lot of it. Henry Ruggs and his his DUI. John Gruden. I mean, they've been through the ringer. But I have to go Cincinnati. This is in Cincinnati. Joe Burrow in the last couple weeks has thrown for almost 1,000 yards in 2 weeks. He's playing great. I'm going Cincinnati. Second game on Saturday, New England Patriots at the Buffalo Bills.
Patriots.
Bills. The Bills.
I know whatever I pick, Aaron's going to go for the other one.
No, I'm just going to be tempted to.
You've done 2 for 2 so far.
I'm also going New England.
It's hard to do, but
it is incredibly hard to do.
It's a little easier with no longer having Tom Brady on there.
Buffalo at the beginning of the season was one of my Super Bowl picks. They played really well last season. I thought they were going to go into this season and be one of the best teams in football. They've lost some really questionable games. They haven't played as well as I thought. New England, on the other hand, with this rookie quarterback, played better than I thought. They still weren't great by any means, but it's supposed to be cold. Negative 10 degrees is what it's supposed to feel like in Buffalo Saturday night. So it's going to be cold. It's going to be a lot of running. I think that just works for Bill Belichick, and I think the Patriots end up taking it. First Sunday game, Philadelphia at Tampa Bay.
Who are those?
Philadelphia Eagles at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Eagles. Buccaneers. Oh boy. Yeah, I am feeling the 2 o'clock there.
Yeah.
Despite all my energy drinks I've just inhaled.
I'm going to go Buccaneers.
Copycat.
I'm also going Tampa Bay. It's Tom Brady in the playoffs. He's not going to lose the first week. I don't know if they make it all the way to the Super Bowl.
It's Tom Brady. He's got an open finger left.
But he's definitely...
Belichick's not deflating balls.
I'm going to guess on this one before I even ask you this to see if I get this right.
Oh.
The Vikings against...
No, the Vikings didn't make it.
I know.
And... Okay. I know which one. I know what team Aaron's going for. I know what team I'm going for. The San Francisco 49ers at the Dallas Cowboys.
49ers.
Yeah.
Would you vote for me already?
I didn't. There were no animals, so I didn't.
Cowboys.
49ers.
Oh, I gotta erase that. 49ers.
My heart's with the 49ers. But the Cowboys have been playing better.
Yeah, Dallas has been playing really good. Dak Prescott, for those of you that don't know, I think he's going to... That's the other thing. NFL awards are coming up before the Super Bowl, so we're going to do a prediction episode on that. But Dak Prescott had a gruesome ankle injury last season. It was... came back, has led the Cowboys to a great record. They've been playing fantastic. It's in Dallas. I think that they end up taking this. Pittsburgh Steelers at Kansas City Chiefs.
For you, Dad, which I know you're not watching this, I'm going to go with the Steelers.
Chiefs.
Gavin Chiefs. Zach Steelers. And...
Can't be either me or Gavin.
Who'd you go with?
Steelers.
I'll go Chiefs.
The Chiefs are the safe bet in this game. The Chiefs are one of the best teams in football, have been for the last 3 or 4 years. I think that if you were to make a bet on any game in the playoffs, this might be your easiest one. Chiefs should win this game. I am going for Pittsburgh though. Kind of because of the hate that I have for Kansas City as a Broncos fan, but also Ben Roethlisberger said it best this week. They're double-digit underdogs. They aren't supposed to be here. They might be the worst team in the playoffs, the Pittsburgh Steelers. He said this about his own team.
Mm-hmm.
But what he ended his statement with that I really enjoyed was he said, we're going to go out there and we're going to have fun. And I think if they can actually go into Kansas City with that attitude, that, you know what, we're not supposed to be here anyway, who the fuck cares, let's go and have some fun and see what happens, that makes you dangerous.
Yeah.
At that point, you're not playing for anything.
Yeah.
There's no pressure on you. If you lose, everybody expected you to lose anyway, so who the fuck cares?
Now, if they win this game, maybe next week I don't go with them because now they're under pressure. And
True. If they win this week, they go to Tennessee and they play the Titans. And
then never mind. I'm going to do it.
that would be a high pressure environment for sure. But yeah, I mean, I like Ben Roethlisberger's demeanor. For real.
Yes, this is his last year.
Yeah. This could be his last game. Why not go out there? He doesn't have to prove anything.
Yeah.
He's won a couple Super Bowls. He's gonna be a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Well, what's one more?
Exactly. I think this has potential to be an upset. And like I said, smart money's on the Chiefs. Deep in my brain and in my heart, I know that the Chiefs are gonna win. But there's just something that
You never know until you know.
there's something that keeps pushing me towards the Steelers. Last game of Wild Card Weekend, Arizona Cardinals at the Los Angeles Rams.
Rams. Don't you copy me, Gavin.
So it's Rams versus
Cardinals.
I want Cardinals.
What?
I'm just kidding.
Well,
Cardinals.
Also going Rams.
both these teams have been playing really well. Los Angeles is my Super Bowl pick, not because I think that they're the best team by any means, but they do have Von Miller on the team. We talked about this when he got traded. We talked about it on this podcast. I love Von Miller. He's probably my favorite player of all time. I have to root for him if he's in the playoffs, and so I hope the Rams win it all. But I have to bet that they're going to beat the Cardinals. Thankfully for the Rams, the Cardinals have had a couple rough weeks. They lost to the Lions, who have been awful this season. They lost to the Seahawks last week, who is a good team. The Seahawks are always good, but I mean they're not a playoff team. They didn't make the playoffs this year. So I think the Rams should go in there with more confidence. They're playing in LA, which I think gives them a big boost. So I'm really excited. I think this weekend's going to be really fun. It's going to be cool to have football 3 days in a row. I will be watching football Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It's going to be on this TV while I play games on this TV. I already know. So
I'll definitely come and watch a few games with you, depending on when I have time to. One thing I did want to bring up, and I heard about this on the radio. I don't know if you heard about this, but Lay's is doing special chips that were grown in soil from each stadium, minus a couple. I'm sorry to say, Broncos was one of the ones that they didn't make a stadium chip out of. But you can't buy these bags of chips anymore. You have to go on their website and enter in to win one of 500 bags per stadium that did participate.
Huh.
And on
That's
the
interesting.
and the stadiums that were who have AstroTurf and you can't grow anything out of, they found dirt to grow the potatoes in from somewhere else in the stadium, which kind of sounds a little weird.
They just swept it from under the bleachers.
Exactly. That's the first thing that went through my mind, but I thought it was kind of a cool idea. I was sad. I think the Broncos, the Browns, and I think there was one other team who did not participate in this. They got like 29 of like the 32 teams.
yeah, that's wild. I didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, I heard about that on
It's crazy.
Free Beer and Hot Wings radio show on the way to work a few days ago.
You could start listening to that.
Yeah, I love them.
We live so close to where I work where it doesn't even make sense for me to connect my phone, listen to half a song as I'm driving to work.
Yeah, I listen to them about 15 minutes every morning.
And that just happened to be when I was at a light.
That's like one of the only. It's one of the nice things about a longer commute because I have
Yes, I miss long commutes, honestly.
I was like, mine's like 20, 25 minutes to get all the way out to Fruta.
Yeah, when I walk to work,
20 minutes max.
that's when I listen to Critical Role was when I was walking to work.
Yeah, it's just.
But yeah, I thought that was something you would enjoy.
Yeah,
Just too bad the Broncos weren't doing it.
Yeah,
that would be super.
That would have been.
if they were, I was gonna put my name in there, see if I could get you a bag.
Yeah, we all
Yeah,
know.
that would have been dope. Not a whole lot of NFL news going on this week. Nothing big that I can think of. The big thing that I didn't want to go over, we talked about this last week. Black Monday came around. It's the day that coaches always get fired in the NFL. So we'll just run through the coaches that got fired, and I'll see if I call them or not. Mike Zimmer, Minnesota Vikings head coach, got fired. That one I do remember saying was going to happen. And they also got rid of their general manager, Rick Spielman. Mike Zimmer's a good coach. I just don't know if he's a good fit with this offense. They did not play well this season. Obviously, this is a team with the talent and the way that their quarterback, Kirk Cousins, played this season. Should have been playing in the playoffs. Didn't make it anywhere close. So this one makes a lot of sense. Chicago Bears fired their head coach, Matt Nagy. I think that this one was one that I said last week. Wasn't bad when he first started out. His first season, the Bears finished 12-4. They made the playoffs for the first time in 8 years. But now ever since then, they've gone 8-8 twice, 6-11. And just time for a change there. This is kind of what happens, 3 or 4 losing seasons, and you're out. The biggest shocker, and one that I know I did not call, Dolphins fired their head coach, Brian Flores. The reason why this is shocking is because last season, Dolphins won 5 games under Brian Flores, but they weren't expected to win a whole lot. This season, they won 10, and they almost made it to the playoffs. They won 8 in a row to end the season. They were playing great football at the end of the season. Every radio show that I've listened to is shocked about this. It doesn't make any sense. Apparently, I don't think that Brian Flores and the quarterback for the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, were meshing all that well. Mm-hmm. I know that he was against when drafting him a couple years ago when they drafted him. So maybe they just want a coach that will work with their quarterback. But crazy to me to fire a coach that just led you to 8 wins.
Especially when you made such a vast improvement.
Yeah, 8 games in a row. That's crazy for any team in the league, let alone a team like the Dolphins. The one that I'm most excited for, one that I know I called, Denver Broncos fired Vic Fangio.
About time.
I feel like people take this the wrong way. There were a lot of people on Twitter that were celebrating Vic Fangio getting fired. And I don't think that Vic Fangio's not going to have any problem finding a job. The Broncos have had one of the best defenses since he's been our head coach. He's going to get a job as a defensive coordinator somewhere. I know it. So I'm not excited that he lost his job. I'm not happy that there's somebody that's out there that's unemployed. I'm just happy that the Denver Broncos are going in a different direction. It's time after we've had 5 or 6 horrible years now since Peyton Manning retired. We haven't been able to find a coach that I think worked. It's exciting whenever your team does this because you don't know what direction they're going to go. We have interviews set up with the Packers offensive coordinator, Nathaniel Hackett. We have, I think we're getting an interview with the Chiefs offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, which is my fingers crossed that's who we hire. I really just want somebody to come in that knows offense really well. That's been something that Denver's kind of stuck with is defensive coaches. It would be cool to get somebody in there that can run an offense and run it correctly. So I think all these guys have jobs. Obviously, none of these guys are going to go jobless unless they want to retire. I know Mike Zimmer's getting older. People just take it too seriously. Players on the Broncos were freaking out on Twitter, and they're talking about how they're upset that people are cheering that Vic Fangio lost his job. It has nothing to do with Vic. As a Broncos fan, I mean, I have nothing but all the respect in the world for Vic. He does something that I wish I could do. He has way more knowledge than I'll ever have about the game of football, and I like to think that I'm pretty fucking knowledgeable about the game. It's time for a change, and I'm excited. Joe Judge got fired from the Giants. This is one that I think I also called. This one is weird because they came out and they said that they were keeping him, and I think everybody kind of thought that was just going to be the thing. They didn't fire him on Monday. I think they fired him Tuesday. Just came out of left field. It makes sense, though. The Giants just have been a sputtering franchise for a long time. Part of that is on Joe Judge, the coach. Part of it's on their quarterback, Daniel Jones, who just has not been able to play well since he got drafted. So it's just going to be a complete reboot, I think, for the New York Giants as a whole. And then last, this one happened a couple days later. David Culley from the Houston Texans. This one is one that I know I called. Houston Texans just need to clean ship. It's Deshaun Watson. I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast at all. Deshaun Watson at during the offseason last year is being accused of 23 sexual assault charges from 23 different women.
Do they count us 123 and me?
I nicknamed him 23 on my fantasy team before I dropped him. If he's proven guilty, scumbag, piece of shit, hope he spends the rest of his life in prison.
100%.
Even if he's not found guilty, I don't think that he comes back and plays football. I don't.
Something like that.
No.
So I think that the Texans get rid of Deshaun Watson. Obviously, they already fired David Culley. Clean house except for a couple guys and just rebuild from the ground up at this point. You don't have the structure in Houston to do anything major anyway. Mm-hmm. So you might as well just do kind of a reboot on your whole franchise.
Yeah.
Pull a DC and reboot your franchise, please. I think those were the big ones. Yeah. And like I said, there isn't a whole lot of news. I was scrolling through the news before we started. I didn't see anything that needed to be said. I know that Buccaneers game, there might be really bad weather in the Buccaneers game. That's another reason that the Steelers, I think, not the Steelers. That's a reason why the Eagles could have a shot to win. The Eagles are the best running team in football. If it's raining, anything like that, it's going to make it harder to throw the football.
Yeah.
Philadelphia could have more of a shot. I still don't think Tom Brady loses. There's no way. But super excited for Wild Card Weekend. Super excited for the Super Bowl coming up. Super Bowl is always one of the coolest days of the year. Get to see all the new commercials and trailers for movies. I'm sure we're going to, I would guess, some Marvel trailers.
Yeah.
We maybe get a Thor trailer. Maybe we get a new Doctor Strange trailer. Yeah. So the Super Bowl, I mean, it's only a couple weeks away, and then it's the off season, and we're going to have to transition into something new. I think that we'll probably do some mock drafts on here. I don't know how to fully do that on here with the four of us, but we'll figure it out. And then we got free agency, we got all that coming up. So I love the off season as a football fan. It's super exciting to see where players go and people get drafted. So
a lot of changes, a lot of fresh faces coming in, and
so super excited. And I think that's gonna about do it for us this week. If you liked what you saw, if you have any comments about coaches or anything, please leave a comment. Like, share, subscribe, click that bell, turn notifications on. If you want to see Zach on anywhere, you can hit him up on
Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram at FilmBeast.
Gavin.
Boopity Games on Twitch and TikTok
And then you can reach us directly on the podcast. We have a TikTok, the SplitScreeners podcast, Twitter, SplitScreeners_, and obviously on YouTube. And stay tuned. Next week we'll be going over the divisional round matchups of the NFL playoffs. Hopefully have some more news to report next week. Maybe we might get a couple more coach firings. I still think that the Raiders might fire their head coach. That's a potential if they lose this week.
You said we're doing a Royal Rumble predictions.
Next week as well. So stay tuned next week, and that's all we got for you for this week. So
that's all, folks.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and it's time to
Explain
Explain it.
Explain it.